It allows us to live with dignity through steady income, not desperation.
Federal government launches Credit Core Board to drive consumer credit revolution
attract
in Nigeria.
Investment from abroad, FDI, which this country needs.
Also tonight, we will tell you how 600,000 plus applicants are jostling for 50,000 constancy positions in the Nigerian police force. Hello, good evening and welcome to Nta Network News. I am Juma Yusuf. Tonight, we're joined by Adeola Kamiakere in Lagos and Dibaburi Sidioma Nweke in Port Harcourt. And Benny Adams is here in our Abuja studio, is standing by for the business news. Benny, business is picking up now.
Well, it is all through investments, and it is about credit taking in Nigeria's stock market. We'll give you details in the course of the bulletin.
Okay, we'll wait for the details while Francisca Bella will be bringing us some of the latest in the world of sports. Francisca, Arsenal is stuttering just a little bit.
And also the UEFA Champions League playoffs has concluded. Attention now shifts till the round of 16. We'll bring you details during the course of the bulletin.
We'll get the details later. Please note this live newscast is streaming on real time on all our channels on the various social media platforms displayed on your screen. Now let's get the news. A new chapter begins at the Louis Edet House this week. And for millions of Nigerians, the question is about what comes next. As we have come to know, the first 100 days of any new leadership sets a tone. And so, as the new Inspector General of Police settles in, the weight of public expectation is immense. Tonight on our online survey, we want to know what should be the burning focus of the new police leadership in its first 100 days. Let us know what you think. Scan the QR code displayed on the screen, click on the link and vote your choice. Now let's remind you that President Bola Tinubu has approved an extension of the ban on the export of raw shea nuts for another 1 year to February 25th, 2027. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, says the ban aims to deepen processing capacity within Nigeria. The President also has therefore authorized the ministers in the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment and the Presidential Food Security Coordination Unit to coordinate the implementation of a national framework on the shea nut value chain. President Tinubu also approved the adoption of an export framework established by the Nigeria Commodity Exchange and the withdrawal of all waivers allowing the direct export of raw shea nuts. Additionally, he directed the Federal Ministry of Finance to provide access to a dedicated non-oil export simulation support window to enable the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment to pilot a livelihood finance mechanism to strengthen production and processing capacity. Meanwhile, the federal government has inaugurated the board of the Nigerian Consumer Credit Corporation, saying access to consumer credit is critical to Nigeria's ambition of becoming a $1 trillion economy. Vice President Kashim Shettima, while speaking at the inauguration of the board at the presidential villa, says until the gaps inhibiting access to capital are closed, the quality of life of Nigerians and human dignity cannot improve. Let's take a listen to State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila.
The Nigerian Consumer Credit Corporation, established by President Bola Tinubu to build a trusted credit infrastructure, provide catalytic capital to lower borrowing costs and help Nigerians overcome long-standing cultural resistance to credit. In just 1 year of operations, Credit Corp has disbursed over 37 billion naira in consumer credit to more than 200,000 Nigerians, with over half of them accessing formal credit for the first time.
A civil servant who earns honestly does not have to chase sudden wealth just to buy a vehicle or save for 10 years to buy one. A young professional should not remain in darkness simply because solar power must be paid for all at once. This is why we welcome structured consumer credit. It allows us to live with dignity through steady income, not desperation. And in doing so, it reduces the pressures that often translate to hardship. It was for this reason that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu directed the establishment of Credit Corp.
With this inauguration, the corporation is specifically tasked with building credit infrastructure to bridge the gap between lenders and borrowers, providing wholesale capital and credit guarantees through its portfolio company.
In the next couple of years, we'll begin to see the transformation of an average Nigerian life, things that make life worthwhile, and also addresses social ills, things like attempt corruption, things that make life a little bit difficult for our people, no matter what salary you earn. For example, if you're earning 100,000 naira, consumer credit will present you as if you're earning 400,000 or 500,000.
The board members were also charged to uphold public service rules, the board charter, and all applicable governance frameworks, with a sound warning that accountability and stewardship of public resources were non-negotiable by this administration. From the State House, Abraman Jibrila, NTA News.
Now we hear that Nigeria's free trade zones have contributed more than 900 billion naira in taxes to the Federation in the last 6 months, with the prospect of doing more with the coming on board of free trade zones in Kogi, Borno and Jigawa states. Managing Director, Nigeria Export Processing Zones and Authority, Dr. Olufemi Ogunyemi, disclosed this while issuing the license for the commencement of the Ajakuta Free Trade Zone to the Governor of Kogi State in Abuja. Benny Adams reports.
Amid the push for non-oil industrialization, Nigeria's free trade zone landscape has expanded with more than 63 licensed free trade zones, both public and privately owned. About 43 to 45 zones are considered operational, currently producing, warehousing or exporting goods, while about 20 are non-operational or dormant zones, of which the management of NEBZA is committing to resuscitating.
Ajakuta Economic City Free Trade Zone is joining a group of successful free trade zones in Nigeria.
Kogi State is the latest on the revival initiative. This is following presidential approval of 4,000 hectares of land to serve as Ajakuta Economic City Free Trade Zone in Kogi State.
Going by our location, is the only state, as far as this country is concerned, that borders 10 commercial cities, including FCT. A state that is so blessed with solid mineral deposit of about 32 different mineral deposits.
It will attract investment from abroad, FDI, which this country needs. It will also attract investment from within, LDI. It will create integration with back channels into our own economy. Backward integration is called. So many benefits.
With the license and certificate of declaration in hand, it is expected that machinery will be mobilized to site as the people and government of Kogi State beckon on both local and foreign investors to find the state suitable for investment, creating jobs, transfer technology, and develop communities. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
Now, a total of 244 billion naira has been earmarked towards ushering in a new lease of life across security-challenged communities in Nigeria's northeast region in 2026. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that the chairman of the Northeast Development Commission, Muhammad Al-Kali, defended the estimates before the National Assembly Joint Committee amidst commendations from legislators.
The budget defense session between the National Assembly Joint Committee on Northeast Development Commission and the Commission's management team dwelt on how the region is being revitalized. The Managing Director, Muhammad Al-Ali, told the Joint Committee that the focus is restoring livelihoods across the region.
We all have education, health, and empowerment, but our own number one assumption is to complete whatever we are starting so that we won't have abandoned projects.
I also want to join my colleagues in commending you for the tremendous improvement. It wasn't like that even last year's budget. We have seen a sea change, so I want you to keep it up.
You took us to even the heart of where Boko Haram was operating. and what you did was quite marvelous. I have had admiration for the courage you even took to go there and execute those projects.
Priorities in the education sector took center stage as the Minister of Education, Tunji Alausa, and his team appeared before the Senate and House of Representatives Joint Committee on Education. He said more than 40% of the 2.3 trillion naira budget to the agencies and parastatals is allocated to universities.
To our various agencies, we have a total budget of 633 billion, of which capital is 127 billion and the current of 505 billion.
The 2026 budget, including all rollover components, must ultimately translate into measurable improvement in educational delivery, enhance research capacity, and dignify conditions for teaching and learning across our institutions.
The implementation of 2025 is highly challenged. While we can attest to the fact that some level of achievements have been recorded in the area of recurrent expenditure.
The federal government's economic team was also engaged by the Senate Committee on Finance, where calls for reforms in budget implementation system dominated discourse.
Equally important is revenue discipline. The committee reiterates the urgent need for the Nigerian Revenue Service in coordination with the Ministry of Finance and relevant institutions to accelerate the full implementations of the reform, especially the robust single window system.
For the whole of 2025, there is zero allocation, zero release for capital projects.
Senate Committee on Finance, amongst others, has talked about the payments method. And all I can say about the payments method, it is there to be improved. But we should not throw the baby out with the bathwater, but look to improve, because the key element of the current process is that payments are made directly to the end beneficiary.
The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, while explaining fiscal strategies of the ministry for 2026, said he intends to overhaul the humanitarian response framework to address poverty and development challenges.
We have continued to coordinate humanitarian interventions, supervise our agencies, and implement social protection and poverty reduction programs.
The ministry's estimate for 2026 is 23.5 billion naira. From the National Assembly, Bami Ali, Nta.
Meanwhile, the federal government says it will not relent in promoting partnership with credible groups to ensure effective management of crisis communication in Nigeria. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, while receiving leaders of the Center of Crisis Communication, wants Nigerians to support President Tinubu's desire for the creation of state police. Saliu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
This is another partnership where quality ideas were shared among relevant stakeholders who are committed to complementing government efforts by harnessing the power of communication as an effective tool in the fight against all forms of criminality.
The study provides actionable recommendations for the Ministry of Information, NITDA, and other stakeholders, reinforcing the urgency of strengthening Nigeria's digital crisis communication architecture. The ministry will also find this, our latest study, very useful. We stand ready to work closely with your office to advance these initiatives and to support your vision for a more responsive, transparent, and technologically empowered national information system.
We therefore recognize the value of this strategic partnership that we are having with you and other credible institutions, civil society, organizations, communication experts, and all responsible citizens in shaping the resilience of our national communication framework. It is the desire of this ministry to ensure that we partner with all those concerned, especially centers such as yours and other NGOs and other civil society organizations, so that we can strengthen our national communication framework for the development of our country.
The government spokesman reaffirmed that governance is the responsibility of all citizens.
It is the desire of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to see that once the legal framework, once the backing of the National Assembly is sought, that all states have state police. I think it is time for Nigeria to have the state police as mentioned and as also is being pursued by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
A report on National Crisis Communication Hub was presented to the Minister for Analysis and Adoption in Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
Police Service Commission briefs media on latest recruitment exercise. Details of these and more when we return from the break. Don't go away.
The Christian Legislators Fellowship, National Assembly Abuja, cordially invites the general public to the commissioning of the National Assembly Christian Chapel, which is scheduled to take place on Sunday, 1st of March 2026. Time 2 p.m. prompt. Venue National Assembly Christian Chapel behind National Assembly Annex Abuja. Special guest of honor Her Excellency Senator Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, CON, First Lady, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Chief host His Excellency Senator Godswill Akpabio, GCON, President of the Senate. Host His Excellency Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu, CFR, PhD, Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives. Announcer, Christian Legislators Fellowship, National Assembly, Abuja.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, hereby notifies all state Muslim pilgrims welfare boards, agencies, commission, and licensed tour operators that Saudi authorities have made the submission of duly processed medical fitness certificates a mandatory requirement for the issuance of visas for all pilgrims in the 2026 Hajj exercise. Accordingly, all state pilgrims welfare boards, agencies, commissions, and licensed tour operators are required to urgently submit the medical fitness certificates of all pilgrims registered under them no later than Monday, 2nd March 2026. It is important to clarify that these measures are not peculiar to Nigeria, but form part of a broader regulatory framework being implemented by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to better manage pilgrim affairs and mitigate health risks. Kindly note that failure to submit the required medical fitness certificates within the stipulated deadline will result in the forfeiture of visa opportunities for the affected pilgrims. NACOM wishes to inform the general public that the reduction of Nigeria's Hajj quota from 95,000 to 50,000 is a strategy by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to strengthen health protocols and logistics, and these measures affect all participating countries including Nigeria. The Commission appreciates your full cooperation. Announcer, NACON.
In the beating heart of Owerri, business never sleeps. From sunrise to sundown, the wheels keep turning. And behind the scenes, vision meets action. Governor Hope Uzodinma's leadership has turned manifestos into reality, transformations that feels like a miracle. But progress needs peace, and in Imo, it's not left to chance. From land to sky to river deep, guardians are watching, protecting dreams and opportunity. At Orashi's quiet shore, hydropower is rising, set to energize a growing economy. The change is visible. New roads emerge, industry hums, communities come alive. At the center, a digital revolution. 500,000 young minds trained each year to build the future. As Orashi rises, so does Imo and the hopes of a hard-working people. A new Imo is on the rise.
I ask, who is family? Family is life's best blessing. Supramalt Multivitamin Junior. Supramalt, multivitamin junior. Being mommy, simplified.
So creamy, tastes better with Cremella.
Enjoy the deliciously rich taste of Cremella Crema.
For any other choice of meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, even between meals.
It's hard to resist the deliciously rich taste of Cremella. It tastes better with Cremella.
Protect every day with Hypo.
Dirty and stains no be do shakara. We got the remedy, original palasa. Hypo, go hypo. Protect your home every day with Hypo.
No gree. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go hypo.
Whenever man pikin gets pain for back, I dey collect 2 tablets of Panadol Extra sharp for make top pain comot sharp. Like pain for head, teeth, muscle, and pain don finally comot for my body oh. Try Panadol Extra.
Send some smart cash.
Today and today, if I hear say any charges today.
I keep asking you to download the Smart Cash app and begin to enjoy 0 charges on your transfers. No be cho.
If I hear say Smart Cash no charge you for these transactions, be make I bend.
No matter the transaction, Smart Cash no go charge you shishi. Whether na airtime or na data you buy, or you want pay for your light or na cable bill, na 0 charges for Smart Cash. This one no be cho. Work is day. See.
I don't download that.
Make yourself download Smart Cash app or dial *939# sharp.
You're watching Nta Network News. Now, for the second time in a row, Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, is getting recognition from her home state, this time from her maternal roof in Ishekiri land, where she takes the traditional title of Otukpa Orise, conferred on her by the Olu of Wari, Ogeme Atuase III. State House correspondent Adeni Itaiwo reports that the installation ceremony was the highlight of her homecoming visit to Wari.
Rich in tradition with distinct identity, the Ishekiri people of Wari Kingdom possess diverse cultures which often reflect in vibrant celebrations. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu was greeted with loud drumbeats and familiar tunes that lift the spirit as her people of Wari Kingdom came out in their best to welcome a precious daughter back home to her maternal roots in the land of the Shekiris. To pay homage, her first destination was the palace of Olu of Wari, Ogeme Atuase III, ahead of her installation as the Otukpa Orise, Light of God of Wari Kingdom by the monarch. Making a grand entry at the town square, the new Otukpa Orise, in her address delivered in local dialect and spiced with nostalgia, appealed to the people of Wari Kingdom to hold firm to the cherished value of peaceful coexistence by pushing the frontiers of Nigeria's unity in diversity.
And you see, Nigeria has to be united. When they were saying religious battle between Muslim and Christian, look at how God will do it. They both started the fasting and Lenten period the same day. What is God telling us? Unity. When we are united, Psalm 133 said, that is where God commands blessing. And Shekiri Dede, you have to come together, irrespective of interest. And then you.
While thanking the monarch for the honor and continued support for the federal government, the First Lady assures the people that President Bola Tinubu is mindful of their expectations and working hard to deliver them.
We have to empower the women and young girls in petty trading and all that. So we did a sum of 50 million, which they have started sharing for 1,000 women.
by calling on all debtors living outside the state to emulate Her Excellency example of sacrifice, selflessness, and tenacity of purpose. Nigeria will be a much better place for all of us when service and meeting the needs of others become the focus of those positions of authority.
The Olu of Ori is proud of his new chief, who he says has brought pride to the kingdom and positive inspiration to the women.
We are proud of what you have achieved. We are proud of who you have become. We are proud to call you our own.
It will be recalled that the First Lady recently bagged a similar honor with her installation as Yeye Asiwaju Gbogbo Odua, conferred on her by the Ooni of Ife, Oba Enitan Adeyeye Ogunwusi Ojaja II in Ile-Ife. From Warri in Delta State, Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
Now let's bring you up to speed with other news as Nigeria's quest to strengthen its policing architecture has entered a decisive phase as the Police Service Commission announces the next step in the recruitment of 50,000 constables into the Nigeria Police Force. The Commission revealed that after an 8-week application window, more than 600,000 persons applied. Francis Wong reports.
Out of the 873 applications received, 434,604 applicants qualified for further screening, while 121,596 were deemed unqualified and 60,673 submissions were invalid.
These figures demonstrate the continued confidence of Nigerian youths in the Nigerian Police Force as a career of honor and service. While we acknowledge that some states recorded relatively low numbers, the overall national spread reflects the principle of federal character, which the Police Service Commission holds sacrosanct.
Candidates who scale the physical screening hurdle will proceed to computer-based examinations, medical tests, and comprehensive drug integrity screening in partnership with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. To further entrench transparency, the Commission announced the introduction of a whistleblowing policy on police recruitment, enabling Nigerians to confidently report suspected irregularities. All reports, it assured, will be investigated diligently. As Nigeria moves to induct 50,000 new constables, the Police Service Commission insists it remains firmly committed to a recruitment process that is fair, transparent, merit-based, and reflective of the collective aspirations of the nation. Francis from NTA News.
In the meantime, following the conclusion of a joint interagency investigation promised by the Department of State Services, Walida Abdullahi has now been released at about 5:45 p.m. into the custody of the Jigawa State government. At the instance of the Director General of the service, she and her baby, however, will remain in Abuja under the protection of the federal authorities pending the completion of all litigations. Francis Form reports that authorities are also pushing back against claims that Walida is a minor, with official records now providing clarity on her age.
The development follows last Thursday's 19th and final meeting of the Joint Interagency Investigations Committee, set up to probe the alleged abduction of Walida Abdullahi. The multidimensional committee, after a series of meetings with all parties, including Walida's biological father and her uncle, formally handed her over to the Jigawa State government. However, Walida will not be returning to Jigawa State for now. Instead, she and her baby will be accommodated at a secure facility in Abuja under the protection of federal security agencies, a move officials say is strictly to guarantee her safety.
We will not take her to Jigawa because that is her wish. She don't want to go to Jigawa, and I don't want to force her to go to Jigawa. The issue of her child, so how can we take her and without her child? It's not possible.
Her welfare is now being jointly managed by FIDA and the Jigawa State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Welfare, with medical, psychosocial, and protective support already in place. Minister of Women Affairs Iman Ibrahim Suleiman clarified that national identification number records confirmed Walida is 22 years old.
May I reaffirm that Walida's age has been officially verified by the National Population Commission? She's 22 years old. I wish to state that the handling of this matter reflects the government's steadfast commitment to the rule of law, protection of individual rights, and the safety of women and our vulnerable people.
The Director General of the DSS, Tosin Ajayi, maintained that the service will not be dragged into controversy, insisting it remains focused on its core mandate of security investigation and intelligence gathering. He reaffirmed that the agency will prioritize Walida's welfare, education, and the future of her baby. Meanwhile, the DSS confirms that its operatives linked to the matter remains in custody, with an internal investigation ongoing. Francis from NTA News.
The Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation is taking steps to strengthen Nigeria's financial safety net, bringing debt recovery agents together to operationalize the provision of the NDIC Act 2023. Musa Abubakar reports that the sensitization seminar focuses on improving debt recovery from failed financial institutions while safeguarding depositors' funds and reinforcing confidence in the banking system.
Accountability remains vital to sound financial system. When loans go unpaid, effective recovery helps protect depositors and sustain confidence in the banking sector.
Threshold for recovery agents and corporations
to strengthen this process, the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation, NDIC, has convened a sensitization seminar for debt recovery agents, with a focus on operationalizing the provisions of the NDIC Act 2023 for more effective debt recovery.
The Act is a full bouquet to ensure that we ensure speedy recovery of these debts. We know the insured sum has been paid. The uninsured sum will be paid from the realized assets of the bank. And it is very important in ensuring depositor confidence in the financial system. And that is why this act has been improved and enhanced.
Participants were guided on the Act's provisions, best practices, and the importance of professionalism and due process in recovering debts linked to failed financial institutions.
With the debtors, we engage with the NDIC, we'll be able to engage with them from standpoint of knowledge and to be able to also be effective in carrying out the assignment as may be given to us by NDIC.
The NDIC says effective implementation of the Act will enhance recovery efforts, strengthen financial stability, and ensure greater protection for depositors across the country. In Abuja, Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
Time now to join Adeola in our Lagos studio for more on NTA Network News. We'll be back after that.
Despite the fire that engulfed the Terminal 1 of the Muritala Muhammad International Airport in Lagos, Managing Director, Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, Farouk Ahmed Umar, has assured Nigerians that the nation's airspace remains safe. Joel Pukwola reports that the NAMA MD gave this assurance after inspecting facilities affected by the inferno.
The Managing Director of the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NAMA, accompanied by senior officials of the agency, are in Lagos to assess critical facilities affected by the inferno. The incident prompted aviation authorities to immediately divert some inbound flights from Lagos before reopening the airspace a few hours later. The Managing Director, Farouk Ahmed Umar, at a media briefing with journalists, explained that air-to-ground communication and navigation facilities were destroyed by the fire, and the agency now relies on a backup system to sustain flight operations.
The communication aerodrome approach
and air control remains uninterrupted. I want to assure Nigerians and the flying public that the Nigerian airspace still remains safe because we take safety sacrosanct.
The managing director assured passengers that there is no cause for alarm.
What we are trying to do now is to improve on what we have done so far because we didn't move mobile tour immediately because the terrain was not good for us to move it to sink. So we have to ask the Chinese firm that is working here to help us with the civil work so that we can move the mobile tour. And from what I've seen so far, I visited the area. They have done very well within a day or 2 days or so.
Meanwhile, it is business as usual as the airport continues to witness a high influx of passengers. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
Kaloha, Nigeria, the authorized dealer of Cherry vehicles, has officially unveiled the Cherry Himla pickup brand. Lynn Lenaka reports that the event, which marks Himla Cherry's entry into the Nigerian pickup segment, is aimed at positioning its pickups not just as transport tools, but as high-efficiency mobile business assets for commerce, agriculture, logistics, and regional trade.
As Nigeria's economy expands and user expectations evolve, pickups are increasingly expected to deliver productivity, reliability, and operational efficiency. The new innovation and addition into the Nigerian automobile market, Himla, is designed to meet this shift, offering entrepreneurs and businesses a next-generation workhorse that enables scaling with fewer trips and reduced operating costs.
The new vehicle segment, pickup is one of the most selling in this country for new vehicles. It's being used for policing, it's being used by fast-moving consumable company, pharmaceutical, and it's being used by farmers in their terrain and their off-road terrain, and sometimes individual, they use it for personal use.
Built on a high-strength ladder frame with reinforced rear spring suspension, Himla delivers a rated payload exceeding 1,000 kilograms while maintaining stability and safety under heavy loads.
It is the only vehicle within its category that comes with the largest cabin space. What this means is that you can actually carry more load.
The Himla is already hot. Is coming in and going off our shelves.
These fans of the brand who experienced the test and ride of the Himla pickup shared their experience.
I had a test drive of the Himla truck and I would say it's an amazing ride.
The Himla is built with 25 to 30 degree slopey angle in such a way that the vehicle goes on slopey angle and still find it easy to open the doors.
With the launch of Himla, Kaloha signals a new chapter in mobility, positioning pickups as platforms for opportunity, productivity, and growth, built to carry not just goods, but the ambitions and future of enterprise in Nigeria. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
We're done with a contribution from Lagos. The network news will continue with Dibabari Siedumanweke in Port Harcourt after the break.
Enjoy the delicious creamy goodness of cowbell. With Vitarich and vitamin B9, which supports brain development. Cowbell, so creamy, so good.
Stains and dust don't go on break.
So whiten your whites with Hypo.
Hypo, Hypo, go Hypo. Protect your home every day with Hypo.
No green. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go Hypo.
So creamy. Tastes better with Cremella.
Enjoy the deliciously rich taste of Cremella Crema.
For any other choice of meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, even between meals.
It's hard
to resist the deliciously rich taste of Cremella. It tastes better with Cremella.
Heartburn is caused by stomach acid rising. Gaviscon Double Action neutralizes this and forms a barrier to stop them rising for up to 4 hours. Gaviscon.
The gold standard of rice, the finale. High swelling index, non-sticky, no stones. Big Bull Gold, the gold standard of rice.
Alright everyone, open your ears, make we talk. Time don't reach to rearrange the stars to give us small wisdom. Shout my tea fresh now, but you know, I beg no be so. Before I go talk, say our smile no reach. Make not think I'm try so. Ever heard of Colgate, the #1 oil care brand in the world?
Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection unlocks 24 hours cavity defense. The formula boost with calcium for lifelong smiles.
Mom, it's a time to brush. No more cover mouth.
Colgate for 24 hours maximum cavity protection.
When malaria knocks you down, you can be sure parasites are having a party in your system.
Welcome to our new kingdom, guys!
Comel, an effective weapon against malaria. Attacking the parasite army directly to give you express relief and get you back on your feet effectively. Comel on. Malaria gone.
Mommy, relax.
Banking that's fast and reliable. A debit card that works. Enjoy unlimited free transfers.
Tell me the truth. Where is all this money coming from?
Mommy, relax. I just bank smarter with unlimited free transfer from PalmPay.
But do they give you free money too?
Yes, so I get up to 20% interest on my savings annually. And that is what I used to buy the lace. But you still owe me for the grocery shop.
With PalmPay, your money moves when you want it to. PalmPay, the smarter way to bank.
Shield your families from germs. When Dettol is a part of every household bucket, then you and your family can stay protected from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Everyday use of Dettol keeps my loved ones protected.
Protect every day with Hypo.
Germs always find a way back.
So disinfect your kitchen every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go Hypo. Protect your home every day with Hypo.
No breeze. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go Hypo.
What makes a true leader in the game? Is it being the first to start? For over a decade, one name has always led in front. That name is Bet Naija. Bet Builder, Bet Freeze, One-Up, Bet Boom. Not just features, but unbeatable odds on over 300,000 live matches, but playing to win. Just another reason why Bet Naija is truly Nigeria's #1.
Secretary to Rivers State Government and a Chief of Staff Government House Port Harcourt have been sworn in with mandates to ensure they contribute to the success of the administration. Governor Simnana Ifubara says he aims to reposition the State Executive Council to actualize set targets. Kingsley Amaji reports.
After weeks of intense political engagements and strategic meetings, Governor Fubara stepped forward as usual, calm, calculated and poised to steer the ship of the state's administration towards purposeful governance.
Protect and defend the Constitution of the Republic.
That oath of office activates again a new administrative engine with Dr. Dagogo Okoma as SSG and Sonny Ehule as the new Chief of Staff. This is Governor Fubara's move to reconstitute the State Executive Council, which was dissolved about a fortnight ago. These appointments are testaments of the governor's commitment to the peace accord and the administration's disposition to ensuring stability and delivery of promises to Rivers populace.
I believe that this choice that we made would be the right choice and the best thing that has happened to us at this time.
The latest two appointments came at a very critical moment in the state's history. How much do the appointees understand the system and how prepared are they?
Every chief of staff brings in a new thing to make the office vibrant and to ensure that we portray what the governor is after.
With the timeline of about a year and 3 months to the end of this administration, the governor charges the new secretary to the state government and the chief of staff to work collectively and ensure they work harmoniously towards ensuring that the key objective of this administration is achieved. I'm Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Stakeholders are advocating for a close implementation of electoral reforms in order to promote Nigeria's political stability and national development. Former INEC chairman Professor Nta Network, in a lecture delivered at the third Nemi Briggs Legacy Lecture held at University of Port Harcourt, Rivers State, called for effective strategies to promote credible elections. Nkiro Yejisi reports.
Credible electoral system is a panacea for social economic growth in a democratic society. This lecture aimed at providing practical approach to free and fair elections. The issue of electoral reforms and effort of the federal government in getting it right has continued to dominate conversations. This Nemi Briggs Legacy Lecture Series is not an exception, as participants deliberated on issues of national and global importance. Guest lecturer Professor Nta Network, in a lecture titled Importance of a Credible Electoral System for Nigerians' National Development, is of the view that electoral integrity is a fundamental element to achieving broader democratic governance. He stressed the need for citizens to play meaningful roles in shaping the political landscape of the country.
Credible elections, or what some scholars increasingly nowadays call elections with integrity, which are based on a properly conceptualized and operated electoral system, are necessary for and desirable in Nigeria.
Vice Chancellor, University of Port Harcourt, Professor George Owunari notes that the lecture series aims to sustain the legacy of intellectual excellence, national service, and thoughtful leadership.
Electoral integrity must cover all points in the electoral cycle and is important to human rights and other democratic principles.
Nigerians encouraged to exercise their civic electoral duties as the country prepares for the next general election in 2027. From University of Port Harcourt, Nkiro Onyejesi, NTA News.
And that does this from Port Harcourt. Is over to Benny on Business News.
Well, from Port Harcourt, now talking business, federal government and Benue State government in the bid to harness the agro and industrial potential of Benue State. The state government signed an agreement with the federal government to co-pilot the special industrial processing centers in the state. This is as Benue has long held the title of food basket of the nation, but has struggled with post-harvest losses and lack of value-added processing. This partnership to co-pilot the special industrial processing centers is designed to fix that, and by moving Benue from a commodity supplier to an industrial powerhouse. Areas of interest include agro-industrial clusters, infrastructure synergy to integrate centers with the Lekki Deep Seaport, as well as national rail lines to ensuring that processed goods from Makurdi can reach international markets seamlessly, in addition to 30% value addition goal. Now moving on to the markets, as the trading floors closed across the continent today, the narrative was one of cautious consolidation in Nigeria, a subtle wait and see approach in South Africa, and in Tunisia the market went bearish. The Nigerian market also saw investors catch their breath after a midweek rush. The market slowed as volume and turnover took a dip, suggesting that major players are holding positions rather than aggressive trading. Despite a 37% drop in volume, the market capitalization remains a towering 124.2 trillion naira. The South African market, that's the JSE Top 40, hit a record peak yesterday and is now tiptoeing to maintain that ground, while the Tunisia, the Tune Index, marginally retreated by 0.34%. That is it and business tonight. Jumai is over to you.
Thank you so much, Benny, for the business news and reports reaching us here. Actually, it's breaking news. Says following the repeal of the Electoral Act 2022 and the enactment of the Electoral Act 2026, which introduced adjustment to statutory timelines governing pre-election and electoral activities, the INEC has reviewed and realigned the schedule to ensure full compliance with the new legal framework. Accordingly, the Commission has resolved that the Presidential and National Assembly elections will now hold on Saturday, 16th January 2027, while governorship and state houses of assembly elections will now hold on Saturday, 6th February 2027. Now, the theme, the new architecture of corporate integrity, navigating power perception and purpose, resonated strongly at the NIPR FCT Reputation Roundtable 2.0, underscoring the reality that corporate integrity has evolved beyond compliance and image management into a core governance imperative. Hamman Jabani takes a look at how corporate bodies are judging not only by what they produce, but how they wield power, shape public perception, and align their actions with clearly defined purposes.
Discussions at the roundtable highlighted that power within corporate organizations must be exercised responsibly and transparently. Speakers emphasized that perception must be earned through consistent ethical conduct, not cosmetic public relations.
Power today is more visible than ever before. Corporations have direct influence over policy outcomes, employment patterns, supply chains, digital behavior, and the way citizens perceive economic opportunity. Yet power without integrity is temporary.
Let us appreciate that corporate integrity is not a moral luxury. It is institutional strategy. And in navigating power, we must structure authority.
The NNPC Foundation, as a corporate organization, believes in and advances this theme by enabling integrity into its purpose-driven initiatives through transparent social investment programs and community-focused interventions. The foundation demonstrates how corporate organizations can balance power with responsibility, manage perception through authentic impact, and remain guided by a clear social purpose.
NNPC upholds very high standards of corporate governance and operates disciplined processes in its operation while delivering value to Nigerians beyond its products to its social investments.
This approach reflects the essence of the new architecture of corporate integrity, where ethical governance, stakeholders' trust, and sustainable value creation are inseparable. Hamad Jabani, NTA News.
The news will continue in a moment.
The month of blessing and forgiveness is here again. Marhabam bi Ramadan. The organizing committee of NTA, FRCN and VON invites you to the 20th annual Ramadan lecture. Join us as Professor Omar Pate explores a vital theme, digital technology and the moral future of the youth. Chairman, His Royal Highness Dr. Yahya Abubakar Ezunupe. Royal Father, His Royal Highness Malam Ahmad Nubamali, Emir of Zazzau. Special guests of honor, His Excellency Malam Ubasani, Governor of Kaduna State. His Excellency Malam Umar Namadi, Governor of Jigawa State. Malam Idi Mukhtar Maiha, Minister of Livestock Development. Chief Host, Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Muhammad Idris. Date, Saturday 28th February 2026. Venue, Lumana Multipurpose Hall, River Close, off Jabi Road, east of Sultan Road, Kaduna. Time, 9 a.m. Inshallah. Hosts Malam Salihu Abdul Hamid Dembos, Director General NTA, Dr. Muhammad Bulama, Director General FRCN, Malam Jibrim Baba Ndachi, Director General VON. Enrich your spirit. Prepare for the holy month. NTA, FRCN and VON broadcasting the spirit of Ramadan. Announcer, Organizing Committee.
Whenever man pikin gets pain for back, I dey collect 2 tablets of Panadol Extra sharp for make top pain comot sharp. Like pain for head, teeth, muscle, and pain don finally comot for my body oh. Try Panadol Extra.
With Nivea Dry Deo, you can keep moving forward in life with confidence. Nivea Dry Deo. Derma 72-hour active protection against sweat and odor with 0% alcohol to prevent irritation. Stay dry and fresh all day long. Skin is for moving forward, Nivea is for skin. Your favorite Nivea Deo, now in a smaller pack size.
Germs always find a way back. So disinfect your living room every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go Hypo. Protect your home every day with Hypo.
No breathe. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go Hypo.
So why do you need Dettol's 12-hour protective shield?
Why? Come, let me show you. From my husband's germ-filled journey to work, to his daily interaction, touching where everyone has touched, and the sweaty journey back home. What else can give you all day long protection?
Germs are everywhere, but Dettol's 12-hour protective shield shields your family every day, keeping them safe,
Healthy, happy, and successful.
Dettol, be 100% sure.
The world needs moms. With a splash of golden Terra oil, a mom can transform a frown into a smile. Change no thanks into yes please. Resolve family feuds without blowing a whistle. Providing tasty family meals is all that matters. Where there are moms, there is love. Golden Terra oil, pour pure love.
Heartburn is caused by stomach acid rising. Gaviscon Double Action neutralizes this and forms a barrier to stop them rising for up to 4 hours. Gaviscon.
In the heat of the summer, downfall buses feel like extremely hot ovens.
How do I cope with this heat?
And how do I cope with that bad odor?
By staying 5 degrees cooler.
Body odor is caused by germs, and on hot days, sweating and odor are more. That's why you need to get the new improved Dettol Cool Soap, which offers up to 5 degrees instant cooling sensation and protects you from 99.9% odor-causing germs.
Good tasty food is worth living for. Worried about your oil every time you enjoy your favorite meal? Introducing Smart Balance. Smart Balance Rice Bran Oil is rich in Gamma Original. Golden Terra Smart Balance Oil reduces bad cholesterol.
Guys, food is ready.
Cook to impress.
You're welcome back. The governing All Progressives Congress has reacted to a statement issued by the African Democratic Congress where the ADC alleged that the APC was behind the shooting incident involving its members in Edo State. A statement signed by the APC National Publicity Secretary Felix Moka affirms that ADC cannot assume the role of security forces in investigating and adjudicating on the matter. The APC spokesman expressed displeasure over the unfounded and baseless allegations. He says the APC has absolutely no role or responsibility in the unfortunate shooting incident, but that the party is rather busy appraising its recent victories in the FCT Council's polls, as well as the by-elections in Kano and River State. Well, that's network news for tonight. Don't forget to follow our survey on all our online platforms, on all our social media platforms. Thank you so much for watching. I am Jumwa Yusuf.
This is the network service of the NTA.